I want to be like this guy when I'm 43. He's going to break down how with 7 steps. Brick check first.
Oh, man.
That means we flex our abs on YouTube.
We just got up.
Let's see. Let's see what he's got. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I don't know if I'm in the screen. We got the, all right, whatever.
Yeah, I think you got me today.
Got to stay accountable.
Yeah, yes, sir.
All right. What's the first thing when we're doing our workouts? What's the first thing that relates to longevity?
So, man, honestly, all this stuff is you've taught me, man. And one of the things that I've noticed, man, throughout the years, man, to create the body I have now to be able to play, run, and jump and get out there on the court is like, man, you want to start with your toes and feet. You know, remember I came into you, man, I had my feet issues, and my feet issues led into my knee, and my knee led into my hip. I think one thing that is really important is to start with your toes and your feet. Yeah, so what do you got to say about that, man? Because you pretty much taught me that concept.
Well, the easiest way to do that is with the sled. Yeah. And, man, Derek and I were on the same team this weekend. It wasn't even fair on the court.
No, it never is, man.
Derek does not play basketball like he's 43. Like, I've played basketball my whole life. His quickness is like he's in his 20s. So it's one thing just to, like, shoot or this or that. But that springiness off the ground. But it makes sense because he's done more forward and backward sled over the last 5 years than anyone in the world. I'd love to see evidence from anyone who thinks they can say to the contrary, because he probably has video of himself doing it just about every day. You know, the point is that when you're pushing through a sled, you're pushing through your toes when you go forward. We do this intentionally. When you go backward, you're pushing through your toes. Our intention is on our feet the entire time. Compare that to a leg press. Your feet don't even bend. They don't get stretched. They don't strengthen. Leg extensions, no feet. Hamstring curls, no feet. Squats, no feet. Deadlifts, no feet. We do feet every single session. It just makes sense. Our feet are full of muscles and tendons and ligaments. What's number 2?
That's so true, man. And I do the sled. I like to see somebody kind of say they've done more sleds than me, and we'll just get them in here and we'll just try to see where they're at with it, you know.
We love it.
Yeah.
Everyone pushing us only makes us better. That's the mentality.
That's it.
What's number 2?
So the second one is apply pain-free pressure from the ground up. And that's another thing with the sled. You're able to apply a lot of pressure from the ground up, starting with your feet to your calves, to your Achilles, through your tibialis, through your quads. So it's a ground up approach to training instead of from the top down, when a lot of people do squats and like a lot of other things that almost hinder your longevity, so to speak. So apply pain-free pressure from the ground up. And the sleds, man, like I think the top 3 are all sled training, you know? So
and we'll get to number 3. So if we look at number 2, we do squat every Thursday, but we sled every day.
Every day.
The difference is that with the sled, I can put my mom or dad on there. They can start applying pressure. And credit to longevity expert Ben Greenfield. I would love to have that guy in here on the sleds with us, because what is the number one thing we hear when people come train with us in person? Wow, I saw the sleds online. I had no idea what you guys were talking about until I experienced it in person. Well, Ben Greenfield says that a body that has pressure upon it ages biologically 10 years younger. The illusion is that if we avoid pressure, that we live longer. Actually, you decay faster. Physiologically, you're not even telling your body to be stronger, to regenerate. So the sled, I can put my mom or dad on, and they can apply pressure without the risk of injury if I throw them under a squat rack. So yes, my mom still squats on Thursdays as well. We still squat on Thursdays, but we can sled every day. So the point is the sled allows us to safely apply pressure. And remember, in number 1, feet, toes, well, right in number 2, applying a pressure from the ground up. You're pushing through your feet. So your calf muscles are getting stronger, your lower leg muscles, your soleus, which is the lower, deeper calf muscle, which is the key to protecting your Achilles. You don't train that on a squat. You do train that on the sled. So 1 and 2 are sled. 3 is sled.
And it's so adaptable, man. Going back to the ground up, it's so adaptable to where your sports. When you're playing sports, when you're playing soccer, when you're playing basketball, when you're playing football, you're starting from the ground up. Like when you're running, when you're jumping, when you're doing these activities, a lot of people get injured because their body says not adapt. And the sled is the most adaptable exercise that I've ever came across.
Yeah.
You know,
if we take opinion out of it, so my whole goal as a trainer is to remove any opinion and deliver only truth.
Yeah.
If we take opinion out of it, and if you look at the programs athletes are doing, they are designed to give you knee problems, to give you Achilles problems, because proportionally, you're asking the universe, you're putting more measurable amounts of physics on everything but your feet and ankles and Achilles and knee tendons. So you're you're going to be weaker in the areas you need to protect yourself. And then you're going to wonder why you're hurt. And then you're going to wonder why you have repeat injuries. Are they freak injuries? Yes, but not that many. Not as many are out there.
Man.
And that's why we're seeing thousands of success stories from 1 and 2. And what's number 3?
Number 3, boy. And I could say so much to that, but I'll move to number 3. At least as much backwards as forwards. And I actually did a post yesterday, and I got this from you and then a Chinese philosopher. 100 steps backwards is worth 1,000 steps forward, and you burn 10 times as many calories, and you it's a better cardiovascular exercise for you going backwards. So there's a lot of evidence of going more backwards than forward. So and one thing that I've been able to do by going backwards is target the muscles I need to go forward, to target my VMO muscle, target the ground up experience. So at least as much backwards, at least as much backwards as forward. So yeah.
Yep. Putting the energy in backward makes you more potent to go forward without breaking down. This started in China, being passed down from generation to generation. They have their elderly walk backward to prevent cartilage breakdown. That's the cushioning in your knees. So a lot of people are aware of that, and they're like, oh, wow, actually, I've seen, people doing that walking backward. Meanwhile, in Finland, powerlifters came from a job of dragging trees backward in the forestry industry.
Wow.
And Louis Simmons, American powerlifter who rebuilt a broken back without surgery and a bunch of amazing things. He's looked at as the guy who built the strongest humans in America, but he's also a genius of therapy. And he identified how foundational these guys had from the ground up by dragging these trees backwards. So he popularized the concept of using a sled as exercise.
Wow.
And backward. So
shout out Louis.
Really cool concept. We used to do this at the original ATG every Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Then if someone would walk in the gym with a bum knee, remember, we'd give them 30 days backward sled. I still have people come up to me and go, oh my God, you saved me from XYZ because of that 30.
Yeah.
Cut that part out. From going from the 30 days backward. Now, we started to realize over time, well, why wouldn't you want? It's so easy. It takes a few minutes. You're not in pain. The gains stack up. So now I would say from points 1, 2, 3, that sled is what allows me to give my parents exceptional results and enjoy exercise in minimal time. I also think it's the number 1 exercise for jumping higher and dunking. So that's a new concept for the training industry. Credit all the way back to the Chinese philosopher who said 100 steps backward is worth 1,000 steps forward. So that's 1, 2, 3 is all sled. What's number 4?
You want to regress to restore your full range of motion. Regress and restore full range of motion. And so that's another ATG, a big ATG concept, man, that is really out here in the market now to be able to regress. A lot of training programs don't have athletes regress to restore to get their full range of motion back. Because I think having full range of motion allows you to maintain your health. And for me personally, it's been so important for me to maintain my athleticism and get back playing with you guys on Saturday and Sunday. And because I'm telling you, I went through 5 to 10 years, my body was broken down. I didn't even think I'd ever be able to play again. Honestly, man, my knee, I had so much tendonitis in my knee. So just being able to have a training style, a training methodology for me to be able to regress and to restore my full range of motion, man, it's been like a lifesaver. So
how fun is that to play basketball? Because I'm on his own team 2 days ago, and I'm watching, and like the guy barely misses, and he doesn't take a play off on defense. Like you're low, like you're using your legs, your knees. I've never seen someone in their 40s play defense like that ever.
Thank you,
I mean, what does that feel like?
Man, I'm just competing. Like I told the guy, we had the Big News 9 guy. Shout out Big News.
Shout out. Yeah, and shout out to Court who visited us. We gave him some buckets.
Oh yeah,
much
Court.
love.
Yeah, shout out.
Court's a grinder,
Court, man.
Court's one of us, but we had to team up, kick his ass on the
he's
court.
A trooper, man. But he didn't want that work this week.
Gotta love the 30 and the 43-year-old giving buckets to the 22-year-old.
Yeah, but like I told other guy, man, I don't see age no more, man. After I go through all these 7 steps, man, it's just I'm just an athlete out there playing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just out there just want to compete like everybody else. And I'm not like, man, I'm 43 out here playing. I'm just like, man, I feel like I should be the best player on the court. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
So yeah.
And usually he is. Last time I wasn't on his team, came down to game winner. He gave my team the game winner. And
41.
So next Sunday, I'm going to have to return the favor. But we'll recap on that Monday, see what happens on Sunday.
We'll let you know. But
all right.
Yeah, but number 5, you want to go to number 5? You want to talk about? Yeah,
I'll just give one scientific detail on this.
Yeah.
So basically, when you stop bending a joint all the way, your body no longer realizes that you're fully using the joint. So it may feel good at first to not use it, but you actually get less synovial fluid, which is the oil that delivers nutrient to the joint. And you don't fully stimulate the tendon. That's what holds the muscles to the bone. Tendinitis. You're asking the universe for tendinitis scientifically, and ligaments. That's what's actually in that connects your bones to your bones. Like that's what's in your ACL. That's an ACL ligament. So you also don't strengthen those as much. So by avoiding full range of motion, we've created a planet of internally weak athletes. So these are athletes that their muscle has developed more proportionally than the human body was designed to be in relation to the tendons and the ligaments that hold us together. So we have, with the modern system of avoiding full range, scientifically, we have asked the universe for tendinitis and we have asked for ligament tears.
Wow.
Can you totally bulletproof yourself? Absolutely not. We're all going to die. We're human bodies. We're fragile as it is. My God, already starting out fragile and then asking the universe to get more internally fragile, that's no life to live. I lived that life for a decade. It wasn't fun. I was depressed, painkillers, nasty life. Now I'm happy and grateful every day, but it starts with pushing and pulling that sled backward. And then that makes it easier over time. That makes it easier to get into step 4 of then restoring and regressing that full range of motion. Now we use various techniques that it's not, oh, how much can you half squat? All right, push that into a full squat. Nor are we judging someone for a half squat. That's a sport in itself. That's powerlifting is its own sport. But even Louis Simmons, powerlifter, where you only have to go halfway, was actually an innovator, even in some full bend techniques that people broadly have no idea that he was not only innovating backward sled, but also when you go backward sled, your knee is over your toe. Your knee's not over your toe in a powerlifting squat. So he was hitting the missing links of powerlifting with backward sled and with full range, full bend of the knee. So really powerful stuff, but the key is to regress to your pain-free zone and to use the sled to get the circulation and the strength. The sled can build your tendons, not quite as much to the ligament as the full bend, but so you can see the sled, the better you go with the sled, the more smooth, pain-free burn you're getting with the sled, then the easier it is to restore full range. So I'll shut up on full range. What's number 5?
Nah, man, everything you're saying, man, you're a genius, man, because it's so true, man. I get so many people hit me up saying, man, this hurts, that hurts. Young kids, 18, 19, or 20-year-old college kids.
They don't train full range.
And they don't train full range. That's what we're about to go into, but they don't know how to regress.
I didn't know how.
They didn't know how to regress. So, man, everything we're saying is, it may sound simplistic, man, but it's so powerful information. Ben is really giving you a powerful, powerful insight. You know what I'm saying? So understanding how to regress to restore full range of motion. Understanding how to regress to restore full range of motion, which leads us to number 5, strengthen.
6. Is it 5?
Yeah,
you're right. He's 5.
Number 5.
He's on the money.
Strengthen through length.
Exactly.
So strengthen through length. And ATG has created exercises to help you strengthen through length. So one example is the split squat is one of the exercises that has really helped me out.
The front knee is part 4, full range. The back hip flexor is part 5, strengthen through length. Carry on. Yeah, so that's one of the exercises that has really transformed my body, man. Being able to open my hips up, being able to give me more mobility in my knees. So that's one exercise that's really, when I say strengthen through length, that's the one that pops in my head like, man, that was probably one of the most powerful exercises that really opened me up into this style of training. So, man, strengthen through length, strengthen for your full range of motion. A lot of people like to say, so strength through length. So yes, that's number 5. Yeah, and an example people probably have seen is when you do a Romanian deadlift, but the intention is to use a weight that you can get your best stretch. So you're holding great posture on a Romanian deadlift, and you're intentionally trying to stretch your hamstrings. So you see, that's stretching in part 5, which is a little different than, say, doing a full squat, which is full bend. So bending a joint all the way versus stretching a muscle, those are like 2 different qualities. We work on both of those qualities. So you put together a full stretch Romanian deadlift for the hamstring, and then for the front side, for the hip flexor, a full stretch astergrass split squat.
Yeah. You
see everything I do. I don't do any static stretching. I only strengthen through length. And I don't know anyone, there's never been a video at least of someone throwing down a tomahawk dunk and then doing a splits on either leg. You know what I mean? I don't
no
have
static
that.
stretching, no static.
I don't do any static stretching. Everything I'm trying to gain flexibility in, I'm putting some degree of loading and motion. So I'm getting strong through range of motion. So
That's powerful.
yeah, and
Powerful.
there's some of the things we're talking about, there's studies on. Sometimes there was an earlier study that was proven to be false, but that's still in the textbooks. So a lot of stuff we're talking on, there are new studies on. There's only one I've seen when it comes to the strength through length, and it didn't show twice the injury prevention of strength or stretching. It showed 4 times the injury prevention, meaning exponential rather than only stretching an area and then strength training it through a partial range of motion. No. When you actually get stronger through a full stretch, it looks like we get exponentially less chance of injury. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
So,
man. And that's another
your
reason we're
hamstrings
doing
are
this.
crazy.
We're doing this longevity podcast, man.
Yeah.
And my body I literally can wake up right now and play a full game of basketball, no cap. Like I really could just wake up out the bed. And I think that has a lot to do with number 5, man, strengthen through length. You know what I mean? And when you tell me
he does that for our pressing, we do full range of motion.
Yeah.
And then another thing people are shocked about when they come in here is how healthy your shoulders are. And shoulders, he can go like on a face pull. He can go more range of motion with more strength than anyone who comes in through these doors who has shoulder pains. But it starts on, if you're tight here, you're restricting and messing up your shoulder in the first. So we apply this to a lot of areas, to the triceps, to the biceps, the pecs. So any of these broad muscles,
everything.
we're trying to be flexible and strong, not just one or the other.
Yeah. And a lot of times, like I think people just don't have the know-how. You know,
it's a new subject.
It is a new subject, man. Yeah. Do you want to speak to that at all, man? Like,
I mean,
look
at fitness. Fitness is a new subject. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Podcasting, boom, that's new. All of a sudden, that's everything. If you want to actually be the best marketer right now, it is so much different than it was even 2 years ago. It's insane. There are many evolving subjects on the planet. And the moment you think that you can't create something, that you're not powerful, that you don't have huge potential, that it's already been done before, blah, 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 you're wrong. We have as humans, we have so much left to achieve. We have tapped into so little of our potential. Each one of us is insanely powerful to create a better future. So don't assume it's already been done. Definitely hasn't.
Yeah.
Number 6 is right on that track.
Man. That's real talk right there. And the number 6, man, is leave no weak links. Leave no weak links. Leave no weak links. And I think, and that's another know-how. You know, you got to know how not to leave weak links.
Even the right equipment for it. You can't walk into a gym right now and train your weak links.
Yeah.
Where's your tibialis machine?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, we're going to wonder why we have foot pain for the muscle that attaches from the inside of our foot and goes up to our knee, and wonder why we have foot and knee pain, even though we're building everything in our body. But the first line of defense against that impact, we're asking for these problems. So every gym should have tibialis machines. Now people have innovated solutions, but it goes from the tibialis to the hamstrings to the hip flexors. Where's your hip flexor machine in the gym? They don't have one.
Yeah.
We have to set up a plyo box, put a couple hundred pounds of weight on top, set it up 8-9 feet away from a cable machine, then use a chic low ab strap that you don't have in gyms, that I don't even think is on Amazon anymore last time I checked. Hook it up to our feet and then do reverse squats. So anytime we're getting stronger at squats, we also train the exact reverse of a squat. How many people walk in here and can do 20 reps with half body weight?
Very few.
Only the freaks.
Just the elites. Only the elite.
The natural freak athletes, they walk in and they can do it. The naturally slow guys who built up a strong squat wonder why they're still slow. You got to pick up that leg too. You can't just deviate from from Mother Nature. Yeah, you can't just 50% deviate from how the human body was designed.
Man, that's so true.
Think it's going to go well.
That's so true.
All kinds of problems in the groin and the hips and all this stuff, and we're measurably, we're weak and we're asking for problems there. Where's the study on that? 0 studies on measurable strength improvement of the tibialis. Same thing with the hip flexors, 0. But guess how many studies there are on a bench press? This is the same concept. Measurable load, thousands of studies. Don't assume it hasn't been done. We're in the stone ages of human health.
Wow. From the feet to the ankles to the low back. So many people have low back problems, man. And so last one.
Getting it in.
Hey.
I have a crushing gripper in my hand right now.
So you want to finish with your hands and fingers, man. That's number 7. There's studies have been done, man, that shows your grip strength equivalates to your longevity and your vitality, your vitality and the strength of your overall body health. And so just having a strong grip is so important just to your overall health, your overall mindset of life. So always finish with your hands and your fingers and your grip.
I added this. Yeah, I added this to the app. So like today, Monday's workout, we have the crushing gripper. Tomorrow, Tuesdays, we have the finger expander. Both insanely cheap on Amazon. I really like a crush gripper that you can read like how much resistance it is. Yeah. So it tells you like how much pounds of pressure it takes to get the ends to close together. And then honestly, I keep them in my Jeep. So it's that simple. Finish my workout, get in my car. All I have to do is alternate workout days. One day, work on how strong I can close my hand. The other day, well, just balance it out. You don't want to overtrain. So the next day, work on opening your hand. And those things alone, it looks like for our wrists, our elbows, and like you said, there's something about it for longevity. When our hands and our feet are stronger, it's almost like our body probably thinks we're younger. Yeah. You know, probably through life. Now there's less impact going into our joints that we can't handle. You know, less stress and pain because we're able to handle things when there's pressure.
Yeah, our bodies are one unit, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And all these things go hand in hand. Like, you can't, if you're working on one, you're working on all seven, you know? So there's, our body works as one. Like, everything is one. Like, in the universe and our bodies are one. So when you're working on one thing, you're working on all. So you can't have a weak grip in a strong body. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you got a strong grip, then it makes the rest of your body strong. It lets off chemicals in your entire body. All right, we got to become strong. We got to be more healthy. We got to be more resilient when you got a strong grip. So, man, it's just nature. You know what I mean? Like you said, man, there's so much that have not been studied. We got so much further to grow. We just at the tip of the iceberg right now. And ATG is at the cutting edge of all this.
Be excited. Don't think it's all been done. It hasn't. Yeah. Don't think if life is dull that it has to stay dull. It can be really exciting, you know? Find something that fuels you, believe in yourself, and observe people who are getting the results that you want to achieve. So
that's real right there.
That's my closing. I'm super grateful for Derek because Derek shows what I want to achieve with my longevity. If I can perform like he does at 43, that means I'll be able to be on the basketball court playing at a high level with my kid. For me, that's a life well lived. So super grateful for you. For the impact. I've woven all 7 that we've talked about here are on the app. And Derek and I wrote this up. You can give a little closing on the book because I am seeing that people who read the book and get even more theory behind what they're doing then get even more progress when they join us online.
Yeah, man. So the ATG for Life, a twice a week picture book formula for longevity. Kind of pretty much has everything we've been talking about on here with the whys and the hows to do each and every exercise for longevity, you know. So
all these points
are talking about, man. And Ben says he's grateful for me, but I'm grateful for Ben. ATG and ATG for Life has pretty much been a lifesaver for me. I'm able to dunk with my 19-year-old son, to play and compete with my 16-year-old son. So it's nothing like it, man. Health is wealth. I know that's cliche, but man, it's really true. And going through these 7 steps, this formula, the 7-step process for longevity, man, it's just gonna expand who you are as a being and your mindset, man. Your body is so close to who you are as a spiritual person as well. So yeah, man, that's my closing.
Huge. Dream huge, but be appreciative every step of the way. Yeah. My dreams are insanely big, but I don't have to worry about if I don't reach expectations because I'm just grateful to come in and hit the sled every day. So that's my secret for success. Dream freaking huge, but be so appreciative every day.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Peace.